Something that we are sharing today is about our purpose and our origin, where passion meets the career, and where skills meet the career, and where competence meets the career. One, we are going to read the book of Genesis, chapter 1, which says, and they said, let us create man in our own likeness and in our own image. They agreed that we create man in our own likeness and in our own image. And again, we are reading Genesis chapter 2, verse 15, that says, and God placed man in the Garden of Eden, and he told him to keep it, guard it, and take care of it. So God, from the beginning, he created man to be a steward of his property. And Jesus said at some point that if you believe in me, then you will do much more than what you have seen me do. It means already God created us to excel. He created us to excel. We need to excel. Well, I bought this phone. This is Camon 40 phone. I bought this phone. And after buying this phone, it came with a virus. I realized the memory was so full and it was not doing the work I bought it for. And I wondered, today Tecno has let me down. Completely disappointed in them. Because tell me how I can spend more than 30,000 to buy a phone and the phone in 2 months is not working. Then I took the receipt and the phone, went back to the shop where I bought the phone, and they told me, oh, we are going to work on that problem. And at how much are you going to, am I going to pay for to solve the problem? They told me no, the phone has a warranty. It has 1 year's warranty. And so we are going to make it for free. I don't know what they did. They took me to CalCare where they have the technicians, the authorized technicians that deal with Tecno, Itel, Samsung, and all other phones that are. And they took the phone and they claimed that they gave me a brand new phone with excellent functions. And I was like, wow, I did not pay anything else. Why? Then I remembered my motivator, Miles Monroe, saying, why are they supposed to do like that? They sell you a phone, they bring it with a manual, and they are willing to make sure that that phone works. Why do they do that? It is because they have a name. It is because they have a brand. It is because they have a reputation to keep. They want people to believe in them, to trust in them, and to gain control. And so they will do everything to protect that name, not because they know me, not because they know the person who's going to buy the phone, but because of their reputation, their name, and their brand. So they made my phone, made it new, because they want to protect their name. I was thinking I just want to go to X and just tell Tecno, you have let me down. What if I did that? That thing would have gone viral and they would have lost customers, because many others would have also come out and say, mine. But they did not allow it to go that far. Why? They have a name to protect. They have a brand to protect. The same way to God, when he said, let us create man in our own image, he has a name, he has a brand, he has a reputation. I am God, I am who I am. And he has created you ready to excel. He has created you with readiness that you may excel. And if you are not excelling, Isaiah 59 tells us, come, let us reason together. If it is your sin that has separated you from me, I will wipe them away and I will make you clean and you will prosper. Do you know what? Before God created you, he knew you. He knew you will be born. Every person that he gave life here on earth, it was with a reason. Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5. I knew you, Jeremiah, before you were born. How does God know you before you were born? Do you know your spirit was just alive before you were born? It was just meeting the body. And even when you die, the spirit does not die. It will just go back to the Creator to give an account of what you did. You have a purpose. Every person that is born has a purpose. Let me explain that you were alive before you were born. I want us to look at man, Jesus Christ. There is this big picture of he is coming to save his people from their sins. And so he has to come to die for our sins on the cross. And so a deal is stricken that he has to come, he has to be born. But before his birth, Isaiah sees vision, and he sees that a child is given unto us, a boy is born, a prince is, and he will rule the world. And even things that will happen to him, Isaiah tells us. But even after Isaiah sees these things, John, the one in Revelation at Patmos, he sees a vision of what happened before Jesus is born. And he says everything went still in heaven. And a voice was asking, my people have separated themselves from me. Who is going to save them? And everything went quiet. But there was that slain lamb. He said, I will go. And there was noise. You see, that conversation there in heaven is happening before Jesus comes here on earth. So it means there is a deal that Jesus Christ is striking with God. So when he comes here on earth, he comes here with the Spirit of God. But like any other child, born like any other child, even in a manger, people visiting him like any other child, going to school like any other child, it is, his parents have been told this is a Nazarene child, yes, but they don't know what exactly he has come to do. Did Mary know that Jesus will die on the cross? No. Did even Joseph had an idea of that? No. But it is upon Jesus himself to realize, why was I born? Why am I here on earth? And to work on the course of why he is here on earth. While here on earth, he had all other options like any other man should have. Facing temptation like any other man. Turn this stone into bread. Those are, we are tested in the areas of food. We are tested in the areas of worship. We are tested in the areas of miracles. Just like you are tested, he was tested. He had opportunities to choose otherwise. That's the way we have opportunities to choose otherwise. But he decided to stay on course. Each one of us is born with a purpose and with a reason. And it is upon us. Even our parents do not know why we were born. They have no idea. They are just stewards of you. So you have to find out why you were born and live that purpose. The problem is Christianity and our churches have taught us that for you to be living your purpose, you must be serving the church. It is true, the Spirit of God gives different gifts. Some are apostles, some teachers, some prophets, and other gifts that are named there, found in the church. That is the truth. But the truth of the matter is that not all of us may live in that space. Some of us have been given diverse and different calling, still serving the Lord. For example, in the Bible, we are talking of Daniel, the administrator, who served in a foreign country and with the integrity, with the fear of God, and many people worshipped the God of Daniel because of the work that Daniel was doing in those governments. He was not a preacher. He did not have a temple. He used to pray facing the temple of Jerusalem. So it means there was even no temple in the place where he was. But in his service, he was able to make many people to worship his God because he realized his purpose. Other people who were not in that particular, who are not serving as priests, as One of them is Nehemiah. Another is Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. So we can serve God in our careers. We can serve God in other different, even in our businesses. Some businesses are there to take the gospel of God to another level. Not all of us will be found in the church, in the church serving. And it is good to come to church to serve, because the Bible tells us that we should not ignore the meeting together of brethren, because when we meet together, we encourage one another. Some have word of knowledge, word of wisdom, a hymn. The purpose is to bring us together, to encourage one another. We should not stop coming to church to serve in the church. But that is not the sole purpose of serving the Lord in your purpose. Find why you are born. Let your career serve God. And if you have not found your purpose, then your career will be just like any other person. We are talking about our career. Your career will be just like any other person. You will live with no difference, complaining like any other teacher. Haki yetu, haki yetu. Dancing with leaves, like even doctors today are dancing on the road with leaves. Why? Not all of them are supposed to be doctors. Some of them were to be different things, but they found themselves there. When you are at a place where your purpose is, you will give solutions. Daniel gave solutions. Nehemiah gave solutions. Moses gave solutions. And many other people that are written in the Bible. The Bible is written of the stories of people who knew God, and they also found their purpose. So we are reading their stories. Your story can also be written. And as it is written, we can also read, and it can also encourage somebody else. Praise God. Praise God. So find your purpose. How can you find your purpose? The power is inside you. Remember, Genesis we read and said, for God created us in his own image and in his own likeness. And if God created us in his own image and his own likeness, he gave us a responsibility. The first responsibility that God gave to man in Genesis chapter 2 verse 15, it was that he may take care of the garden, to guard it and to cultivate it, that we may reproduce. And Jesus even said, if you believe in me, you will do much more exploit than what you have seen me do. Then in Romans chapter 8 verse 16, the Spirit of God lives in us, and he bears witness right deep in us that we are children of God. And if he bears witness that we are children of God, then we can sink deep inside us and find our purpose. And one day I went on the mountain and I was praying and telling God that I may know you, even with the power of resurrection, because I saw Paul write something about it. And verse 21 Romans says, the Spirit that resurrected Christ from the grave lives right deep inside you. So we have the Spirit of God inside us. And if the Spirit of God is inside us and he bears witness that we are children of God, then we can ask the Spirit who is deep inside us to show us our purpose, and we will find our purpose deep inside us. Nobody can tell you what your purpose is, not even a prophet. You are the person to find who you are. Prophets, they have their part in your life. Teachers have their part in your life. But the whole thing about your life is you yourself to decide. That is much about realizing where you came from, your origin. And now we want to talk about career. What about career? Because I was told to come and talk to you about career. What about career? I want us to look at trends. It is good if you are developing your career, you know what is trending. What were the trends and what is trending right now? We need to look at trends. And the trend, we have to look at revolutions. We may not look at many revolutions behind there, but I want us to look at our parents. And why they have to study what they studied. My son says, kuna mtu mwingine mjinga sana alikuja, he came up, he discovered schools. And I'm like, kwa nini mjinga? Sasa kwa nini tunasomanga tu vitu same sisi wote Kenya? Anyway, that is his reasoning as a son. But do you know why Africans were put in this particular school? Because we were undergoing what we call industrial revolution. And industrial revolution, manufacturing was taking place. People were gold mining. People were supposed to work as drivers. People were supposed to work as an accountant. People were supposed to work as, when people are working in an industry, they will definitely become sick. And if they become sick, we need doctors. And who will be teaching these people? Who will be replicating what we taught them in school? Can this person be doing the same? No, we need teachers to prepare them to reach where we want them to reach. And so whatever we have today, what we call the 844 we had, and even the other system, it was to train people to fit in the industrial revolution that was there then. And that industrial revolution, it is still going on, but it has advanced. Today, we have a technological industrial revolution. And in future, it is turning into technology still, but things of internet, AI, and so that is where the trend is going. So if you get your father or mother who is a professor right now to ask about the career, they will remember, because the brain will relate with the experience, and they will tell you, I have seen this happen in the university, and they will not relate with the changes that are taking place in the world today. So if you are choosing your career, you need to sink deep inside yourself and ask yourself, what was there then? What is here today? And what is that is coming? So when you have that information on your fingertips, Google about it. We are in internet. Google about it. Ask people about it. You will find information that will help you to get the right career to choose. But to me, I always say, your career should be your passion. Your career should be your passion. And in the world today, we don't need to specialize in working in the office. We need to specialize in production. We need to specialize in turning our skills, our informal sector, our creativity, our innovation into career. For example, if I am good in knitting, how can I change my knitting into a career? If I am good in cooking, must I go to school to learn how to cook exotic food so that I become a hotelier somewhere? It is good, but what if I get the right things to start my own thing, my own innovation? I can decide to make my hotel in air. Innovation, changing your skill into your career, and changing your skill with added advantage of technology is something that we'll have to look at. I will be disappointed today if I find a young girl saying, ninaenda kujifunza ECD teaching. I'm not saying ECD teaching is bad. I'm not saying nursing is bad. I'm not saying teaching is bad. I'm not saying those careers that you're choosing are bad. But I'm just asking, do you know where the trend is going? Or are you choosing it because your parents said? Or is it because you are able to, that is what you are going to afford? Are you able to turn that skill, because going to learn ECD teaching is a skill? Are you able to turn that skill into a productive multiplication career? That is the big question. To me, I look at each and everything that is here on earth, everything, including even what God did, as business. When you are teaching a school, that is a government's business. Business does not mean just profit, and loss financially only. Business means somewhere is gaining somewhere. You are giving something in exchange of another thing. We are doing business. So if you have the ability to learn the trends of business, then you will be able to excel in your career. If you learn the skills of business, Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1 and 2, invest your money in different trades. 7 or even 8, you don't know which one. Everything about life is investing money in different trades. Even when you're working on yourself, you are investing money in yourself. So I'm like, know where the world is coming from and where it is going. A career is something that will make you learn and the rest of your life. Let it be the area of your passion, the area of your talent, the area of your skill. If you realize your passion in drawing, then get the right skills in that area. Then be competent enough in that area. And when you're competent enough, follow that passion to the end, because that is the passion that will fight for you. You know, we've been lied to. We've been told for you to be seen like you are now successful, you should be wearing a tie, a very good suit, you should look official, you have a car or that double cabin pickup, you are driving, and for you to look very successful, you are in that big office with those big chairs, and they say, hey, anafanya kazi kwa ofisi kubwa, yeye hey, amefanikiwa. That is a lie from the devil. The truth is, for you to be successful, it is not actually how you are putting on, but it is your ability to create wealth. Your ability to create wealth, your ability to solve other people's problems. Even if the wealth you are creating is not so big, but you are solving problems, unaweza tengeneza majiko, na watu wanahitaji majiko. You are successful in that area. You are able to make a tool, an AI tool, and that tool is what people are looking for. You are successful in that area. And also we keep on comparing to others. Unaona mtoto wa nani alisoma saa hii anapatanga pesa. That comparison is also what has fooled us. My friends, we are all successful in our own ways. God has created us differently. And in this diversity, we acknowledge the ability that we have. I always say that passion, what you like doing, what you are able to do without someone forcing you. And if God gave you grace to have all the money that is there on earth, and money is not a problem, that thing you will do for free for people or even for yourself, for the community, that is your passion. And then it comes something we call talent. That thing, when people are given a task, you are able to do it excellently, and everybody says, hey, nani amefanya hii kitu. He has done it well. That is a talent. And then a skill, that which you've gone to school to learn, is a skill. If you get an opportunity to get right skills for your passion and right skills for your talent, your career will be wow. So today we are looking, what are the trends? We are on the things of the internet, TOI. We are in the era of AI, artificial intelligence. We are in the era of many apps are coming. So when we are using technology, when you are choosing your career, look on how will I incorporate AI in this career, and how can I make this career productive. For example, if I like Kibaso so much, Morara, and the business is doing, He has changed the furniture business into something that everybody is looking forward to have a furniture shop. And you know, some days back, if you told somebody that mtu ameenda university na anafanya hiyo kazi, is like, it's carpentry. Which work is that? But do you see, he has changed, technology has changed this furniture, and everybody wants to buy from him. Why? Getting your passion, your skill, learning your skill right, and getting your skill, matching your skill with your passion to create wealth. I admire people like the owner of Royal Media House, the owner of the Citizen TV and all other those stations. You see, he's able to pay so many people who are swinging in his office. The guy looks very simple, but people swinging around his office are like, we have succeeded. The truth of the matter, the founder of the thing is the one who has succeeded. You can be the founder of a bigger thing or even a founder of a small thing. It will matter how you measure the success. When you are able to solve that even simple problem in your society, you are successful. Let us not measure success with the amount of money that we have, but amount of solutions we are able to produce. And so for this thing, if we have that kind of mental shift, if you are after making money, my friend, then take your talent, add on it passion, add on it skill. Get that problem, solve it. Tell me if we will not work together with China or that Singapore on one lane. This is what I call career. Let us shift our mind from the office thing. Let us shift our mind from the employment thing and come to a place where we are, as ourselves, we are giving the solutions. We are solving our own problems. We are looking at around us and solving our problems. And I thank God for the government. It looked into this thing deeply and came up with competency-based education. And this is where we are going. We are going to measure on our competencies to solve our own problems, because the shift, the trend, the revolution of industrialization of manufacturing, Mumias sugar is normal, the Webuye pan paper is normal, and many other companies, the coffee companies, the tea companies are dying one by one because the revolution has changed. And we can still revive them, but with use of technology, use of artificial intelligence. And so when you are choosing your career, measure on these 4 things that I've talked about. We are measuring on the passion, we are measuring on the skill, we are measuring on the talent and the competencies. Then the final thing, use of technologies in the best place. There, if you can get on the track of those things, then you are good to go in your career. I may not tell you what is the best career as at now, but those are the bases to choose your career. God bless you.